What if you stopped asking for money and started commanding it? You have been taught to beg, to hope, to wait for an external power to grant your wishes, but that is the great sleep. And today, you awaken. What if you understood that the universe doesn't respond to your wants? It only responds to your I am. There is a specific command, a verdict, that when spoken once from your true center of power, does not ask for wealth, but announces it. Stay until the end of this video, and you will understand why you are not a beggar. You are the law. You have been asking for a very long time. You've been pleading with the universe, hoping for a sign, begging for a financial shift, for the money you desire. And yet you are met mostly with silence, or worse, more evidence of not having. You wonder why. The answer is simple, but profound. The universe, which is nothing more than your own consciousness pushed out, does not hear your words of wanting. It does not respond to your polite requests or your desperate hopes. It only mirrors, perfectly, your state of being. When you ask for wealth, what are you truly declaring? You are screaming into the void that you do not have it. You are cementing your assumption of lack. You are vibrating in the energy of scarcity, and so scarcity is all that can be returned to you. This is the great misunderstanding that keeps you trapped. You are not here to be a beggar at the gates of reality. You are the gatekeeper. The one and only operant power isn't out there, somewhere in the clouds. It is your own wonderful human imagination, the I am within you. This realization is the key. You must stop hoping. You must stop waiting. You must fundamentally change your relationship with creation itself. This is not about wishing. It is about being. But that's only the surface of this truth. The universe, your consciousness, does not respond to the supplicant. It responds, instantly and without question, to the command. A command is not a request. It is not a hope. It is a declaration of what is. It is a verdict spoken from a place of absolute quiet authority. Think of it. A king does not ask for his dinner. He knows it will be brought. He assumes it. He commands it simply through his state of being. This is the state you must now enter. This is the inner world you must occupy. When you command, you are not hoping for a future event to happen. You are announcing a present fact. You are decreeing that wealth is yours, right now, in this very moment. You are claiming the inheritance that was always yours. This shift, this profound internal pivot from asking to decreeing, changes everything. It moves you from the position of the victim of circumstance to the very center of creation. Your imagination is the one and only reality. What you assume to be true is true. When you command, you are simply aligning your inner speech with the reality you have selected. It is done. The feeling of "it is done" is the true prayer, the only creative act. Here is what changes everything. This is what Neville meant when he urged humanity to stop believing in God and start believing as God. For centuries you have been taught to see God as an external entity, a distant, unpredictable king on a throne to whom you must appeal and bargain. This was the great deception, the veil over your eyes. The power is not separate from you. You are the operant power. The I am, your consciousness, your simple awareness of being, is God. When you say I am, you are speaking the creative name of God, and whatever you attach to I am becomes your reality. I am poor is a command. I am waiting is a command. I am lacking is a command. And your consciousness, being no respecter of persons and infinitely loyal, obeys every one of these decrees. The shift, then, is to move from being an asker to being the creator. You must stop looking outside of yourself for the source of your supply. You are the source. You must consciously assume the state of the creator. This means recognizing that nothing happens to you. Everything happens from you, projected and pushed out from the center of your own consciousness, from your own imagination. Now we go deeper into this mystery. This isn't just theory. This is a practical, mystical law. And today, you will learn a specific command, a declaration of being. This is not an affirmation you repeat endlessly in hope. It is a verdict you pronounce once. When you issue this command from the correct inner state, from the state of authority, from the state of being the creator, your outer world has no choice but to conform. It must. It is the law. The promise is this: a specific, intentional command, spoken from this center of power, can and will make large sums of money appear in your life, visibly, tangibly, within 48 hours or less. Why so fast? Because time, as you perceive it, is an illusion of your 3D world. In the inner world, in your imagination, everything exists now. When you issue this command, you are not creating the money out of thin air. You are simply selecting la reality where the money already is yours. You are choosing the timeline, the state, where your abundance is a settled fact. The 48-hour window is simply the human measurement, the time it takes for your physical senses to catch up to the profound shift you already made within. So, let this sink into your very core. The life you are living right now, every single circumstance, every limitation, is the direct result of your past assumptions. It is the result of your past inner commands, whether you were conscious of them or not. Your persistent state of lack is a command. Your state of endless hoping is a command. It is a command to keep lacking and keep hoping. You have been unconsciously commanding poverty, struggle, and delay without even knowing it. Today, you take back the scepter. You cease to be the unconscious victim of your reality, and you become the conscious operant power. You will learn to stop asking, stop begging, and stop wishing. You will learn to stand in the center of your own being, as the I am, and decree what is. But before you can use the command effectively, before you can wield this power with precision, you must first fully understand why your old methods were destined to fail. You must see the trap of asking clearly, so you never fall into it again. The failure is not in the words you say, thus. It's in the state you occupy. It's in the feeling behind them. When you ask for money, when you look up at the sky or into the mirror and say, "Please, I need money," you are performing an act of spiritual sabotage. You are, in that very instant, defining yourself in relation to money as the one who does not have it. Consciousness, your I am, only knows the present. It does not know future or hope. It only knows what you are. In the act of asking, you are assuming the state of I am asking, which perfectly implies I am lacking. The universe, your greater self, is a flawless mirror. It cannot, it will not, return to you what you want. It will only return to you what you are. This is the law. Your desire, I want money, is a confession of your current lack. It is a snapshot of your state of consciousness. And as long as you remain in that state, you can only attract more wanting, more needing, and more lacking. This is why the most desperate prayers often seem to go unanswered. The desperation itself is the creative act, and it faithfully creates more circumstances to be desperate about. Your reality is your state of consciousness, pushed out. To change the reflection, you cannot beg the mirror. You must change the self that is casting the reflection. This is the vital difference between a weak desire and a potent command. Desire is passive. Desire keeps you in a state of eternal waiting. I want money. This state implies separation. The money is over there, and you are over here, hoping it crosses the gap. But a command is active. A command collapses the gap. A command like, "Money responds to me," or "Money appears at my command," is a statement of fact. It is a declaration of your true nature as the operant power to whom all things are subject. Desire is a question mark. A command is a period. It is a final verdict. When you are truly in the state of command, you are no longer wanting the money. You are being the person for whom the money is a simple, non-negotiable fact. You have moved, in your imagination, from the state of lacking to the state of having. And since your imagination is the one and only reality, the outer world must conform. The command forces a response from the deep, because the command is the response. It is the new assumption, the new reality, being born. But what about affirmations? Many of you have sat for hours repeating, "I am wealthy, I am wealthy," while your stomach churned with anxiety and your heart pounded with the fear of bills. This is the great failure of mechanical repetition. You are not your words. You are your feeling. You are your state. If you are nervously repeating affirmations, desperately trying to convince yourself of something you do not believe, what is your actual underlying state? It is the state of doubt. It is the state of, "I am trying to get something," which again is the state of, "I do not have it." The words are useless. They are canceled out instantly by the dominant feeling of lack. The subconscious mind, the creative womb, is not impressed by your vocabulary. It is impressed only by your conviction, by your assumption, by what you feel to be true. An affirmation spoken from a state of lack only amplifies the lack. A true command, however, is not a repetition. It is a single, sharp, authoritative declaration spoken from a state of absolute knowing, a state of being, where the feeling and the words are one. Your outer world. Look at it. Look at your bank account. Look at your relationships. Look at your health. This is not reality. This is your past. It is a collection of shadows, a physical manifestation of your previous inner states, your previous assumptions. It is your inner state, pushed out. It is an echo, and you are trying to change the echo while still making the same sound. It cannot be done. To change the outer world, you must first change the inner state. You must stop reacting to the shadows. You must turn your attention completely inward, to the one and only operant power, your I am. You must dare to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You must assume the authority. You must assume the possession. You must become, in your imagination, the person who already has what you desire. When you change your inner state, the outer world, the shadow, must change. It has no choice. It is law. It will rearrange itself, often in miraculous ways, to mirror the new truth you have declared within. So, you must stop trying to get money. The very act of trying is a statement of failure. You cannot try to be what you already are. You can only be it. You are not trying to be conscious, are you? No, you are conscious. You must adopt this same naturalness, this same simple knowing when it comes to wealth. You must achieve a state of authority and possession first. You must feel yourself to be the master of your reality, not its victim. You must feel yourself to be wealthy, not on your way to becoming wealthy. This internal shift is the only work you ever have to do. This is the great secret. The command does not attract the money. The command announces the money that is already yours in the inner world. This is not a request. It is a recognition. But how do you stabilize this state? How do you move from nervous hope to absolute authority? You must gather your weapons of authority. You must prepare your inner world for this declaration, so that when you speak it, it is final. You understand now why your old ways of asking have failed. But how does one command? You cannot issue a decree from a state of internal chaos. A general who is screaming in panic on the battlefield, his words are just noise, lost in the wind. But a general who is centered still and absolute in his authority, his quietest word moves armies. This is the state you must now achieve. This authority is not brute force. It is a prepared, mental, and energetic alignment. Before you can speak the command that shifts reality, you must first gather your weapons of authority. These are not external tools. They are internal states of consciousness, preparations you make within your own being. They are the 4 pillars that stabilize your inner world, allowing you to become the true operant power. You must gather these 4 weapons, one by one, so that when you finally speak the word, it is final. It is law. There is no other possibility. This is the preparation for the ultimate creative act. The first weapon is your target. A command cannot be vague. A scattered wish gets a scattered result, or no result at all. Vague hopes like, "I just want more money," are complaints, not commands. They are born from the state of not having enough. A command is not a wish. It is a vector. It is directional. You must have a clear, specific outcome that you are decreeing. What exactly are you commanding? Be precise. You are not concerned with the how or the means. That is Caesar's world, the world of 3D illusion, and it is not your concern. Your concern is only with the end. Are you commanding unexpected sums of money? Are you commanding a specific debt evaporating? Are you commanding my bank account reflecting this exact new total? This clarity is your focusing lens. It gathers the infinite diffused light of your I am and concentrates it into a single powerful beam. Without a sharp target, your imaginative power scatters, and the command has no force. You must know, with absolute precision, the state you intend to occupy. Now you have your target, but you cannot hit a target if your hand is shaking. The second weapon is your stance. This is your inner stillness. This is the unshakable ground upon which you stand. Before you utter the command, you must quiet the internal noise. The human mind is a storm of doubt. the what-ifs, the but-hows, the painful memories of past failures, the anxious chatter of the present. This is the static that scrambles your divine signal. You must find the eye of that storm. You must find the center of your own being, the silent, aware I that exists before all thought. This is the peace be still. You must ground yourself in this deep, quiet, immovable presence. This stillness is your power. When you speak from this center, your words are not just breath. They are force. They carry the weight of your entire consciousness. Doubt is a frantic vibration. Stillness is absolute authority. You must achieve this inner silence, this solid stance, so that your command is the only thing moving in your universe. From this place of absolute stillness, your stance, aiming directly at your defined outcome, your target, you now prepare the third weapon, the strike. This is the command itself. This is not a long, pleading paragraph. It is not a negotiation with the universe. It is a strike. It is short. It is sharp. It is final. It is the sound of a judge's gavel striking the wood. Case closed. It is the "it is finished" of the masters. You speak the command once, not as a hope, but as a verdict. You are not trying to make it happen. You are announcing that it is done. The feeling is one of complete finality. The feeling is relief. This strike is the precise moment you impress the subconscious mind. You are not repeating it endlessly like an affirmation, trying to convince yourself. You are declaring it as a law to your deeper self, the one and only God. This strike must be clean. It must be delivered with the total, calm conviction that the instant it is spoken, it is law. The inner world has shifted. The decree is made. There are no appeals. And finally, after the strike, you must immediately deploy the fourth weapon, the seal. This, for many, is the most difficult part of the law. After the judge's gavel falls, he does not strike it again, and he does not ask the court if they heard him. He moves on to the next case. The verdict is sealed. You must seal your command. You seal it with absolute recognition. You seal it with unwavering trust. You do not, under any circumstances, go digging up the seed 5 minutes later to see if it's growing. To do so is to cancel the command, to declare that it didn't work. You must trust that the command was heard, because you are the one who heard it. You are the operant power. Your job now is to actively notice the universe responding. Your consciousness will begin to send you whispers, intuitive nudges, coincidences, opportune ideas, messages. These are not the manifestation. They are the evidence that the bridge of incident is being built. They are the whispers of your command echoing back to you as it moves into form. You must remain awake, aware, and loyal to the unseen. Let us be absolutely clear. What you are about to receive is not an affirmation. Affirmations are what you use when you are trying to convince yourself of a truth you do not yet feel. They are repetitions born from a state of doubt, a desperate attempt to make something happen. This is the opposite. This is a verdict. This is a law. This is a declaration that you speak once, and only once, from a state of complete and utter finality. Why only once? Because to repeat it is to confess that you do not believe it was heard the first time. To repeat it is to nullify the command and return to the state of asking and hoping. Speaking it once is the ultimate act of faith in your own I am. It is the signature on the decree. It is the judge's gavel strike. It is case closed. You are not trying to make it true. You are announcing that it is true. This is the pinnacle of conscious creation, moving from repetition, which implies lack, to declaration, which is assumption. You must first gather your weapons. You must find your target, the specific outcome. You must achieve your stance, the absolute inner stillness. And now, you are ready for the strike. The command itself is simple, but its power is absolute. The words are a key, unlocking a specific state. The specific command is this: money appears at my command. Do not say it yet. Feel the weight of these words. It is not I want money. It is not money will come. It is a present tense active declaration. Appears. It emerges from the unseen into your seen reality. At my command, it is subject to you. You are the operant power. Money is not your master. You are its master. It has no choice but to respond to your decree. This command claims your dominion. It reestablishes the true order of consciousness, where your awareness is the one and only cause, and the entire outer world, including money, is only the effect. How you say this is everything. You do not shout it at the sky in anger. You do not whisper it in fear. You say it, or perhaps you just feel it, think it, know it. From that deep, grounded state of absolute stillness you have cultivated, you say it from the very center of your being, the silent, aware, I am. You say it with the quiet, unshakable authority of a king whose word is law. You say it with finality. The feeling behind the words is the real command. It is the feeling of relief. It is the feeling of a great weight being lifted. The feeling of, it is finished. There is no hope involved, because hope implies doubt. There is no trying involved, because trying implies failure. There is only the calm, certain, profound knowing that what you have just decreed is. You have spoken. The law has been invoked. It is done. This feeling is the assumption. This feeling is the creative act. The instant you speak this command from that state of finality, something shifts. You may feel it. A subtle click in your consciousness. A deep sigh of relief from your very soul. A sudden sense of peace. This is the signal. This is the feeling of the mirror of reality beginning to move. Your command, spoken from the authority of your I am, has echoed into the deep. It has impressed your subconscious mind, the womb of God, which has no choice but to accept your decree as fact. It must objectify it. It must give it form. In that moment, the unseen world has already rearranged itself to match your new reality. The command is now echoing out from your center, moving through the invisible bridge of incidents, preparing to appear in your 3D world. The shift within is complete. The creative act is done. You have successfully impregnated your own consciousness with the reality of wealth. This is the secret. The shift is instantaneous in the inner world. Your command is not traveling to a distant God. Your command is God, in action. The moment you assume the state of it is done, it is done. The money you have commanded is already yours. In the only reality that matters, your imagination. The outer world, the world of shadows, now has no choice but to catch up. It must conform. The law is absolute. You have spoken the verdict. You have struck the gavel. The act is sealed. You do not reopen the case. You do not question the verdict. You do not look for proof in the shadows. Your feeling of finality, your knowing, is the only proof you need. Your job now is no longer to create. Your job is to receive. Your job is to hold this new state, this new assumption, no matter what the old shadows say. Your job is to hold the line. Your command is spoken. It is finished. The gavel has fallen. The verdict is sealed, and the inner world is rearranged. Now, your only job is to hold your ground. This is the test. This is where the aspirant fails, and the master prevails. Your job is to maintain absolute, unwavering loyalty to the unseen reality. You have declared, money appears at my command. You must now live in that assumption. The 3D world, the world of your senses, is a world of shadows. It is the past. It will take a brief moment for these shadows to dissolve and reform to reflect the new truth you have decreed. In this window of time, this 48-hour window, your old reality will scream at you. Your bank account might still read 0. A bill may arrive. This is the test. These are just echoes. They are not real. The only reality is your assumption, your command, which is already done. You must stand firm in this knowing. You must not flinch. You must not waver. You are the operant power, and your word is law. Doubt is the only sabotage. Doubt is the great enemy of faith, and faith is simply loyalty to your inner decree. The moment you begin to check if it worked, you have canceled the command. Checking every 5 minutes. Has the money come yet? Is it working? This is the most destructive act you can perform. It is, as Neville taught, like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. You kill the process. The seed was planted. The command was given. The subconscious was impressed. It is growing in the dark, in the womb of creation. Your nervous searching for proof is a new command, a command of doubt, a declaration that it hasn't happened yet, which is the state of lack. You must let the seed be. You must let the command be. You have spoken. It is done. Your absolute calm indifference to the how and the when is your supreme power. This indifference is the feeling of authority. It will appear. So what do you do for the next 48 hours? You remain awake and aware. This is not a passive waiting. It is an active noticing. Now that you have sealed your command with the fourth weapon, you must expect the whispers. The universe, your consciousness, will now speak to you. It will not likely drop a bag of cash on your doorstep. It will send you the means, the bridge of incidents. This bridge is made of what you call coincidences, ideas, opportunities, or messages. You might suddenly feel the urge to call someone. You might receive an unexpected email. An idea for a project might flash into your mind with sudden clarity. These are the whispers. This is the proof that your command is unfolding. Your job is to be awake enough, aware enough, still enough to hear them. And when they come, you act on them, calmly, naturally, without questioning. This is how you walk across the bridge your command has built. You must, in these 48 hours, fully embody the state of the wish fulfilled. How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you breathe if you knew, with 100% certainty, that large sums of money were already yours, already on their way, and their appearance was an absolute settled fact? You would not be anxious. You would not be checking. You would not be hoping. You would be relieved. You would be calm. You would be grateful. You would be authoritative. You must live from this state. Walk as that person. Talk as that person. When the old shadow of lack appears, a bill, a doubt, you look at it, but you do not see it. You see through it. You acknowledge only your reality. You hold your assumption. You are no longer the person who wants money. You are the person who has commanded it, and to whom it always responds. This is the shift. This is the selection. This, then, is the law. It is not magic. It is consciousness. It is the law of assumption. You move from begging, which is lack, to commanding, which is authority. You use your weapons, the target for clarity, the stance for stillness, the strike for finality, and the seal for unwavering trust. You speak the verdict once. Money appears at my command, and then you hold your ground. You remain loyal to the unseen. You stay awake and aware, listening for the whispers, the bridge of incidents, and you walk, talk, and breathe as the person who has already answered. You do not make it happen. You let it happen by being the person it has already happened to. This is the great secret. You are not attracting. You are not manifesting. You are simply allowing, selecting, the reality that has always been yours for the taking. You are the operant power. You are the I am. Now, command. You are no longer the person who asks. You are the consciousness that commands. The money was never out there. It was always within you, waiting for your own authority to call it forth. You are not manifesting. You are selecting. So, what reality will you command now? Let me know in the comments. What did you feel shift inside you when you spoke the command? Subscribe and turn on notifications because this is only the beginning. And if this awakened your true power, do not stop here. The next video is waiting. Click it now and assume your new reality.